love really kind of digging into depth in terms of reading and understanding water. I was up on the East Walker River and asked an expert, guide Whitney Inman, about her strategy in approaching a certain section of that river.
So coming downstream, I've got a nice gravel bar and I have a little faster water here. This is going to be more oxygenated, which is full of life. Ordinarily, how I'd approach this is I'd probably start at the tail out in the bottom of the pool and then work my way up, so that if I hook anything downstream, I'm not inadvertently spooking everything that might be holding upstream of where I'm targeting. This is a great little section. It's got a lot going on. You've got some good fast water, some braided water here, a little foam line, a little back eddy back here. Got a little cover of some willows over here in the corner. Nice little channel right down through the bottom. This, to me, looks like it holds a lot of life. I kind of like to make sure I look at the rocks, and occasionally I'm out here picking up rocks to make sure I'm kind of on point with whatever I might be fishing, whatever I might feel is emerging or coming out food-wise, forage-wise for the trout. I always feel like the darker rocks, because they warm up faster, they actually hold more bug life than lighter colored rocks, so I kind of try to pick those, turn over and see what is happening out here on these stretches of water. Fish don't need necessarily a lot of structure. There could be one rock that's a little bit bigger than the others, and maybe that creates a soft little cushiony pillow that's softer, like less intense current than the rest of the water. Water's always going to run a little slower on the outside of the river, as well as at the bottom. Generally, it's not as fast moving as this surface stuff is. So I'm looking at this, and this is where I really want to make sure that my flies are going to be down on the bottom, because I know that that's where the fish are likely hanging, because again, it's a little gentler down at the bottom of the hole. So they're either going to be hanging on the sides where the water is softer and a little less intense, the current's a little less intense, versus hanging right here in the very middle. Now again, depends on how much oxygen is in the water, how warm the water is going to determine as well kind of where they're hanging. So in all reality, when I'm fishing this, I'm going to start here in this first stuff here. I'm going to step myself back. I'm going to work this inside edge of this first and see if there isn't something hanging where the softer water meets the faster water. But I want to get up into the top of this run so my flies have enough time and distance to get down. And I just kind of do these little mends as I go, the water being faster in the middle of the run than the outside edges of it. I'm going to do downstream mends to make sure that my line is kind of keeping up also with my indicator and staying in better contact. So I'm going to move out a little bit further, make sure my flies get down, staying in touch. It's not a big stream. You don't need a whole boatload of line out there. You just need enough to help extend your drift. I'm going to throw a little stack mend at it, maybe to get down a little bit further downstream of myself. Let it tail out just a little bit. Then we'll employ our roll cast. Get a little mend, pick up some slack. I think one of the things that a lot of people don't think about with fly fishing is line management. It's real easy to get lazy and just flip something out there, not really care, do this or that, create big bellies in your line, and then you've got all this slack on the water, which when you set on a fish, then you've got that much more line to pick up. So line management's a really handy, not handy tool, but it's kind of a critical thing to make sure you're staying in touch with your flies and you can get a nice, good, sharp hook set. Follow it down, throw a stack at it, extend your drift.
Cool stuff, and appreciate Whitney Inman. She's with the Angler's Edge. She guides on the East Walker River, and that was a really interesting day where she kind of did a lot of that, going through and helping to understand an approach to a certain segment of water on the river. And then I came away with a lot of things that I could apply to my own home waters. If you want to do the same thing, let us know. We'll put you in touch with Whitney. She's a great resource up there on the East Walker River. And we'll see you right here next time on the Backcast.